When you start fingerprinting, what things came to mind about the pricing? Were you kind of nervous setting your price? Did you know where to go? Did you feel kind of guilty charging a certain price, or felt kind of scared not knowing what to charge for your services? So let's take it back for a second here. Let's talk about this. A lot of folks contact us saying, hey, we need help trying to get started doing fingerprinting, but we're not sure what to charge. We saw this online, we saw this down the street, we saw this on YouTube or what they're charging, but I don't think that we should be charging that low, or I don't think that this is way too much, and I don't feel comfortable charging this or feel guilty charging this particular price. What's your thoughts on that? What do you guys think about that? What comes to mind now about pricing for a service? Just say it's just for one ink card. Okay, they come to you for one ink card. They come to your office for one ink card. And you can charge them for a service. What comes to mind for that pricing? What you gonna charge them? Matter of fact, leave your comments below in the comment section and let us know what you're gonna charge for one ink card or something you heard online, or why, or what you take in consideration for pricing. So Maoumba, I'm gonna ask you this here. From tons of people that we talked to in the past and stories that we share with each other, what came to your mind when you started to look into fingerprinting and the subject matter came about pricing? What did you think about pricing? What things did you take in consideration? And how did you feel about charging people for a price?
So first of all, I was scared. I didn't have the knowledge to figure out what price I should charge the customer. I usually trying to go to the lowest prices because I'm scared
Hmm.
of the rejection. I'm scared that the customer gonna reject my price, and I'm also scared to losing the customer in the long run. So I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the confidence, for me to charge for higher prices. And also I didn't know my value as well, as far of charging the customer for the right prices. So um, that's what I would say in regards to it. I have the knowledge, confidence. So once I took the classes, and in which I have mentorship to the class, I was able to gain my confidence and know what to charge for the customers. So you have to know your value. If you don't know your value and you don't know your research, you can be scared to see what the expectation.
That is true. Some things I heard, this is from us too, early on, we started fingerprinting way back in the good old days, back when gas prices was less than $10 a gallon.
Oh wow, that.
um, we used to charge $15 per person for a live scan here in California, because right down the street was a pretty well-known organization, one of the largest ones in the country, charging $17 per person for a rolling fee. And for those folks out there, a rolling fee is when you actually charge them for your service fees, your profit, where you actually roll the fingers across the card or the live scan device. And if it's a live scan, there's two fees involved. One is the government fees, and one is your fees called the rolling fees. So, not counting the government fees, our rolling fees was $15 because we are trying to capture that market. We're trying to stay busy, staying broke, right? Capture that market. We're gonna underbeat the big dog here by $2. They gonna all come to us.
Hmm.
And what happened was we waited, and people started to come. And then they started showing me, hey, we got $12 here, you can't get a discount. We got $10 there, you only charge them 50, what's $5 more? Can we get a discount? And on and on and on. And we had lower end quality clients that was not our target market, but we didn't realize we were marketing after the wrong clientele with such a very low rate. And early on, we didn't take in consideration deep enough about the cost of doing a live scan. Even when you're out there now that trying to do live scan, it's like a fixed cost could range from $3 to $7 or so around there sometimes per person just to do a live scan. So you might want to take that, consider that in part of your pricing. Just because a person may have a certain price for fingerprinting, you may also make sure that you know what's going on yourself. So even though you might charge them a low rate trying to get the deal coming in, you need to also consider how much it's going to cost you just to hit the transmit button on your machine for a live scan. So for us, our number's around $5 per person to transmit a live scan for here in the state of California. We didn't take in consideration anything else. We're trying to capture that market, but we're either getting the wrong type of market at first. So we quit going after the price point. We quit trying to match what somebody had down the street because their business model is different from our business model. The source down the street had an office in the government building, and they didn't have overhead. So basically, they had a budget,
Oh
or
wow.
perhaps the place down the street called the police station. They were charging $17 for rolling free for live scan too, but they had a budget. We had bills. So those folks understand that stuff there. Bills will fund somebody else's budget. Our bills were funding the law enforcement's budget. Our bills was funding the government building down the street where this other company had a contract with them and fingerprint at their location. So they had a very low overhead or a budget compared to our bills. So they're able to charge a lower rate at that location there because our bills were funding their budget. And we also, for me personally, I was kind of scared at first to charge a higher rate for our service because right down the street charging $17, and I wouldn't pay no more $17 myself plus the government fee to get a live scan. So who's going to pay us more for that when we're there for a live scan service? A live scan is just a live scan. That's all the place on YouTube, right? A live scan is just a live scan. No. A car is not just a car. A house is not just a house. A hamburger is not just a hamburger. Especially a chocolate chip cookie is not just a chocolate chip cookie. And yes, folks, you know me and my chocolate chip cookies. Um, you bring more to the table. If you offer mobile fingerprinting services or notary services when you travel, you bring more to the table. And they'll say, hey, there's a notary everywhere you look around here. Yes, but you contact us because we bring value to the service. So a lot of folks may be apprehensive or nervous or feeling guilty in charging something, and we respect that. We understand that. Been there, done that. Okay? But what kind of changed my mind quickly is when we gave a price for mobile fingerprinting, and he laughed at me on the phone. This person's assistant laughed at JW because my price to her was way too low for what we brought to the table. That's the best thing they did for me. Broke my heart. Right? Had me crying. He
Oh.
laughed at me about the price we gave, and ever since then I wondered why. Because it was my mindset. It was my belief. When I thought what they will pay was wrong. I may fly from different state to state, but some folks would choose to fly in different class of the airplane based on what they want to do.
That's true.
Some folks might have to fly first class on best of the best seats because they might be 6'8" and need a long leg room. Some folks might be 5'1" soaking wet and they don't need to have all the extra leg room. They might fly in coach with smaller seats. All depends on the person's market and their value. Even the airlines recognize that they have different values, different customers with different type of expectations. Some pay a little bit more money for the extra service, even though they're still flying to the same destination. It's their experience. They want that experience when they travel. It might be a long flight, and flying first class is like night and day compared to flying coach. So it's the experience. So when you guys out there trying to share your prices with the public, don't feel guilty if you believe you're charging too much. You might be undercharging yourself. You might feel guilty if you think you're charging too low. Because sometimes you might attract the wrong customers. Most of the time you will, and you end up being out of business before you know it. Because really, despite how we feel, our feelings cannot pay those bills. Our feelings cannot pay those bills. So set your price will make sense where you're making a profit. Write down the value and benefits you bring to your customers. You need to get away from the negative activity out there who's going to cause you trying to do things their way. Their way is not paying your bills. Your family is, we all love our family. We all have our unique family members. We all have those. But sometimes you need to think outside the box.
Wow, sir.
And you mentioned something before about changing things around, not being comfortable. Sometimes you might have to get some training,
Yes.
and getting that proper knowledge will make a big difference. Now, there's some training out there that might tell you certain things what you need to do, but just because you're getting training might not be enough. I can teach you the basics of being in brain surgery. Okay, take a hammer, crack open the skull. Okay, then I show you open the skull up. But it doesn't mean the best in teacher doing brain surgery. Yes, you see the skull right now cracked, opened up, but it's not the best way. So we do seek training out there, The association, the National Licensing Association, we know we're the best out in the country to do, matter of fact, I say worldwide, as far as we're concerned, again, proper training, but seek out good training.
Yes,
And what
definitely.
we said something else too about where else they should be looking into a mentorship or somebody like
Mentorship.
that.
Yes, yes. We say yes. You have to have a mentorship. Like I have you as my mentor. So it's good to have someone, to mentor you and guide you and teach you the proper way, and also to teach you to gain your confidence, which I have now, and I'm getting little by little. It's not gonna be overnight, but to hit that target and learn your value, and learn your knowledge,
Hmm.
that confidence. I think that's very important for you to know what you're doing, and also what you're supposed to. What's the expectation for prices? So yes, I agree with that.
And you mentioned confidence. I believe that's also a very important thing to take in consideration when people are out there trying to do something new. They may not feel comfortable, have the proper confidence to go ahead and step out and represent who you truly are.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to stay shy. You know, step out and be bold. Be comfortable with what you do. Don't second guess the value you bring into them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them tell you what to do or what you should charge them. Because their goal is to keep the money in their pocket and to take it from you.
Yes,
Your
definitely.
goal is to provide the best service possible and make sure customer has the best experience, which will justify what you bring to the table and your pricing for your services. Now, this is a big topic. It really is. It's a big topic, and sometimes we go back and forth with debates about pricing and stuff. But at the end of the day, you're running a business.
Yes.
At the end of the day, are you going to go home,
Good point.
get ready for work tomorrow, or go home looking for a job? So this is your business, or you're going to scale it the best way. And don't let these other organizations bully you around either. They may think you're small, but you're big. Big, you're proud. You got things going on. Don't let no other organization bully you and try to drop your rates because they want to pay you less. They're in business of doing that. They might be quite good in doing that. But sometimes that golden nugget you chew on, you end up getting a whole bunch of cavities. It costs you a lot more money in the long run. So pick your customers that's good for you. And sometimes the good customers will find you also. But don't let the customer dictate you around. Don't be guilty. Don't feel like you're charging too much or things like that. And don't be afraid of losing customers.
Definitely. Yep.
Not all customers are your customers. What's your thoughts on that, Mahomes? That was a good thought I did right there. I like
Yeah.
it.
That's true. You're right when you say not all customers are your customer, because the one that, let's say that the price you charge, I'm just throwing some numbers out there. For in-call you charge like $10, and the guy down there should charge like $60, and you might charge them for the price. Doesn't guarantee they're gonna come back again because the scale is not there. But if you charge them $60, they go to the next guy next door, and they see the price is good. People are still gonna pay for the price regardless of not they need that fingerprint. They need
Yep,
that background check. So no matter the price you give it to them, they're gonna come back and need to get the service to be done. So the price you need, they're gonna pay for it. Because when I had to
that's
do
right.
my other classes for real estate, I had to pay the prices. I said, oh, it was high, but I said, hey,
Hmm.
what was the purpose of it? And I had to pay to get my fingerprint done at the time. That was like 3 years ago, yeah. And I still had to pay for it, regardless of the price. I had to pay. So, looking at the customer service standpoint, put your price. Don't be scared. Don't be scared and just do it. You'll be surprised what type of customer will come to your business and how often they will come. And then also word of mouth, they will say, hey, this person did my fingerprint. And they will come over and over. A lot of time it's not about the prices, it's more about your skills. They're here for your
There
skills.
you go.
They
That's
want to
right.
make sure you do the right way. And once you do the right way, it's not rejected. Trust me, they will come back.
That's right. That is right. Oh, I just lost that person there. Hold on for a second there, folks. I do apologize there. Had a comment here I want to bring back. To piggyback what you were saying here, you're right. People talk about this all the time. They just don't know where to go or the ability to try to compare to somebody else. Folks, quit comparing to somebody else. They're not your business. They're not you. And that's the biggest mistake to do, is trying to compete with somebody out there. Don't compete, dominate. Okay? You may not, a lot of people want to pay extra for things they want to have in value. They may pay extra to get their nails, they may pay extra to get themselves a Wolfgang Puck hamburger versus a Mickey D's hamburger. They may pay extra to get their car detailed versus driving to a gas station and get it washed at the gas station, might get it all scratched up.
Mm-hmm.
They may decide to go to a dentist who specializes in certain things versus someone who just got the license to be a babysitter. They're
Yes.
going to people who are professionals in those industries, and they're going to places where they can feel comfortable, safe, and relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to convey those services to your customers. You don't have to match anybody down the line. I promise you, once you start to scale your business and your prices should be a little bit higher to reflect that, it better be higher to reflect that. Those so-called people down there is going to look at you like, hey, they charging $10 more. We can do the same thing, and the price might go up too. We can't tell you what to charge when they're doing that here. We're trying to share with you folks. Don't underestimate what you bring to the table. Don't let nobody or any organization devalue your services. And they will try on an everyday basis. But that's not your market. You can't get every single customer. Don't try and get every single customer.
Customer, you cannot.
Identify who's your live scan avatar.
Yes.
You may not have, I'm going after the educational field. Okay, that's the niche. But that's not identifying who your avatar is. In the education field, you got the plumbers, you got the custodians, you got the teachers, you got the students, you got the parents, you got the
Right.
bus drivers, you got the landscape companies out there. All folks have contracts and stuff or work
Yes.
with the school district directly. Identify your avatar. Paint a picture in your mind who this person is. Even give them a name. My avatar is Jay Debery. He's the coolest guy around. Has the coolest haircut around. Wherever the case it may be, identify your avatar and draw a picture of your avatar if you have to, or describe them. And focus on that person there and know what you're going to bring to them.
Yes.
And when they sometimes try to get you to defend your prices, never defend your prices. Share with them the benefits you bring to the table. Literally, you're going to bring them to the table to get fingerprint on, so share with them the benefits behind that. You have to excuse or defend your prices. You know what you have.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we bring to the table. And sometimes you say, I'm sorry, this might not be best for you here. You mentioned some place cheaper on the internet. Well, go drive to the internet right now and go to that location. Or go to the police station right now. Wait, I'm sorry, you don't want to go to the police station? Oh, that's right, your tickets are still not paid off yet. Okay. Or the case may be. Or they may say, well, it's cheaper if we go to college. All right, drive to college, spend an hour and a half looking to park your car, run 3 miles to the police station at the college because you still park so far away because you're too cheap pay for closer parking, something like that. Then wait in line for another 30 minutes, and you get front of the line, they're out for another lunch break. And then when you get back to your car, you have to pay the parking ticket because
Yeah.
you're too cheap to pay for parking when you got to the school to begin with. All to save a couple of bucks. People are like that. More power to them. But that's not our clientele. And if that's yours, good. Stay busy and stay broke. We're going to get productive and get paid. Folks, I want to thank you guys for joining us today here. We're going to try and keep this short, sweet, and simple, but just think about this. Don't follow everybody else's word. They are not in your business. They're not paying your bills. I know it's uncomfortable. Sometimes the best way to get ahead is become uncomfortable.
Yes.
To stay ahead, you should always feel uncomfortable. So when you start to settle down and slow down and stay in your lane, you're going to be in that lane for the rest of your life. With no changes, no interaction, no diversity in your life. You won't get anywhere in the business. Yes, we are notaries. Yes, you're a notary. Yes, you can do fingerprinting. No, you can't do fingerprinting. Whatever the case may be, whatever you choose to do. If you want to get ahead, you need to make changes, positive changes. If the group you're in right now is not getting to the next level in life, get a different group.
Mm-hmm.
If you like the sandbox on your end because there's too much dirt in the sandbox, find yourself a different sandbox with grass, a lot more grass or something. Change your environment, reevaluate your prices, become a member of the National Life Skin Association, take our training programs, chat with us, whatever the case may be, get some good essential information and scale your business. I had one person call us last week. I talked to her myself. Within that 15-minute call, we showed her how she doubled her income. And she calls me and said, "Think I doubled the income. I still feel guilty about it." We understand that, but you got paid.
Yes.
And the baby in the background I'm hearing talking while I'm talking to you, that baby has baby bills to take care of. Okay, then that baby has baby bills, and you don't have a budget for that. You got bills to pay, plus pay the baby bills too. Just want to keep it real. Your final thoughts, Maoumba?
Yes, I mean, I'm doing the same thing. Now we're just going through the social chat, and Ecstatic Orange says she was just talking about the same topic to somebody else
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, and which is
Yep.
everybody's mind. So yes, and I did feel guilty, to charge higher prices, and I was one of those people. But once I have my knowledge and I get my confidence and I know my value, you do have to pay those bills. You have to make sure that, keep in mind that once you charging those prices, not because you want to charge the prices, it comes with the insurance fee. You have to pay gas on your car if you're doing mobile. If you're in the office, you have to consider about the mortgage or the rent, the light bill. So there's a lot of things that include about the fee. It's not because you want to charge the fee, the price of the ink cards, consideration about the ink pads. There's a lot of things that go with those charges. So it's not because you want to charge at high prices. It's
Mm-hmm.
also you have bills to pay. The bill don't get paid by being free. The last time I checked, I had to pay bills like everybody else. So we all have to pay bills. So
Yep.
definitely keep in mind, keep your prices high,
Yep.
no low. Don't
Thank
be
you. Appreciate that. Folks, four things: be safe, have fun, get in trouble, but
and
don't
don't
get
be that.